All right, next I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Mayor Domingo Vargas. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I want to thank, we have our city clerk here, Randy Hoyton. We have Mark Miller, also working with the city department. Betty Harmeyer over here, and Marisol Barrera. Again, I want to thank the Salvation Army for your hospitality, the Florida Chamber of Commerce for them hosting and sponsoring and everything. This is what, 4 years in a row? Almost that we've been doing this. And every year, it's like this is the time that we spell out what we're going to do, what we've accomplished from the previous year, and where we're going from here. Again, the theme has always been building a better Blue Island. And again, I can't do it by myself. We have the staff. We couldn't do it without the staff of the city of Blue Island. From every single department head and all the employees from top to bottom, from bottom to top. They're what makes everything go well. And again, the theme has always been building a better Blue Island. As some of the columns that we've written within the last couple of months in the forum, we've been saying, pardon our dust. And if you haven't come across construction in Blue Island, I don't know where you've been. But there's been construction up and down from north to south, east and west. And just to give you an example, right now as we're speaking, they're working on Vermont Street, from the railroad tracks all the way up to Francisco. A month and a half ago, they did from Francisco to 127th Street. They're also working on 135th Street by the Dulce Bakery on Old Western Avenue. From there, all going west. They just finished doing the parking lot at the John D. Rita Rec Center. That's completely paved and striped. And I was there last night with the children playing basketball, so that's done. They started on they started on the Calsac Trail with the spur for the walking path and the bike path. They poured the asphalt, is down. They're working on Canal Street as we speak. Again, they have to get all these projects done before the asphalt plants close for the season. So Canal Street, they're working on that. They've done the curve. So there's been a lot of accomplishments so far. That's only a small sampling of what's been done. But we don't do it alone. We've had Cook County, who has assisted us tremendously. I want to thank, again, through the Community Block Grant Program, we'd like to recognize, and these are the people who made it happen, besides Mr. Miller and everybody else in the staff at City Hall. Mr. Dominic Pochi, Deputy Director of Planning and Development, Sylvia Parkham, Grant Director, Planning and Development for Cook County, and Mr. Carl A. Brinson, Planner and Planning and Development for Cook County. Again, without their assistance, there's certain streets that I'm going to mention couldn't have been done, couldn't have been renovated without their assistance. Again, we belong to the Southwest Conference of Mayors. I attend those meetings, and as a result of that, there was $8 million, approximately $8 million that needed to be spent before the end of this fiscal year. And we were fortunate and blessed that we had projects that were shovel ready, and some of the other mayors from the west of Western going west were not ready, so we took advantage of it. And it was about time that Blue Island took advantage of stuff like that, and we did it. That's those projects that I told you about, that's part of the money that's coming from them. Southwest Conference of Mayors, South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, CNAP, all of that. I mean, that is because we belong to certain organizations and they see that we put the money to where it needs to be done for the community. Again, just to rehash a little bit what has been done as a result from our state rep assisting us, the Division Street Bridge, so many years it was closed, the completion of the Chatham Street Bridge. These are things that we had mentioned at one of these forums, these luncheons years ago, that we were dreaming of doing, accomplished. Chatham Bridge, Division Street Bridge. The Calsac Trail is ongoing. God willing, a year from now, the completion of the Blue Island section, a part of the Calsac Trail will be done. Again, if you're not familiar with that, that's 26.2 miles from Lamont, Illinois, all the way to Vernon. By Riverdale, by the old golf course, off here by Halsted, they've done the bridge. The pillars are in. They have to put the structure up, across. There'll be another additional way to get from Phase Point to the other side. But as they said, when Jason was with us, Jason Berry, the Chatham Street Bridge was the buckle, or is the buckle, of the Calsac Trail. Because without that bridge, both east and west would not have joined. So that is the buckle of the Calsac Trail, the 26.2 miles. It's very important. Why? Because that Calsac Trail is going to be a destination location for Blue Island and the surrounding suburbs that are part of that trail. Again, go out there. You can ride right now, weather permitting, from Lamont all the way to Elsa, in part of Blue Island, all the way to the Chatham Street. And then the spur that's going to go, which they've completed it, with the asphalt, is all to Old Western Avenue. Again, that's a big plus for all those businesses up and down Old Western Avenue. What I had mentioned before about the community development block grant programs and the people that I gave a heads out to, Cochran Street, Lewis Street, Birdsall Street resurfacing, all those were done as a result of that. If you've seen the Chatham Bridge and the Division Street Bridge, the color blue, that was through us as an administration speaking, and one of my plugs that we wanted all bridges in Blue Island eventually be painted blue. They're working, even though it's not in Blue Island. The Sister Avenue Bridge is under rehab right now as we speak. That was one of the original bridges that was painted blue, besides some in Chicago. So what you're starting to see is all the bridges are starting to be painted blue. In the spring, this coming spring, there's a little bit of a tie-up, but the Western Avenue Bridge rehab, hopefully this coming spring. I've signed all the papers. They're not going to close it completely. They'll keep 2 lanes, one going south, one going north. But the decking and everything, the pillars that you see by Mario's underneath, is going to be replaced with lighting, and hopefully eventually we'll have valet parking underneath for Old Western Avenue there. And some of the dreams in our city clerk can verify this, but one of his dreams is to have a trolley system, a valet system down in that area to accommodate all those businesses and restaurants in the Old Western Avenue area. Again, painting the bridges blue. So as you know, for us, as say it's the city of Blue Island, to paint the Western Avenue Bridge blue, that would cost the city almost $1.some million to do. So we told them, you know what, we'll wait. When the bridge needs to be painted, we'll let IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation, cover that expense. But the Division Street Bridge, the Chatham Bridge, was on us, the majority of the funding for that. Here's another one to South Council Mayor. If you've driven it, hopefully you were driving the speed limit from Ashland, Broadway Street, from Ashland, Francisco, was also resurfaced this summer. That was a major project. Wyerton Road, as I mentioned before, the John D. Reeder Rec Center, resurfacing and landscaping. And as we speak, they also did some crack sealing up and down some of the residential areas on the uptown area, and that will be continuing doing. Canal Street is going to be resurfaced, as I stated before the end of this year. Raxford Street, again from Canal to Broadway. Grove Street, again, 135th Street. You go by Luncheon, they still have to pack it up, but that's another street that has to be complete before the end of this resurfacing time. And the other 3 main ones is Market and Greenwood. Again, CDBG funding from there. What is coming up in the future? Greg, God willing, we'll be back here next year, and we're going to say we've completed these projects. The ones that are coming up, resurfacing of Longwood Street from 119th to Vincennes, again, CDBG grant project that we were awarded. The demolition, finally, of the Montel building, 119th and Vincennes. Again, to try to clean that up, rehabbing it, and renovating that whole area and making it available, those 80-some plus acreage that belongs to the city, and do something there. Again, we've had, over the years, we have had various box stores who have been interested in that location. Again, not to compete with our mom and pop establishments, a lot of your businesses, but that would be close to I-57. And also there's in the works possibly solar panels farms in that area. We're looking into something like that. But the demolition of the Montel building and 119 Vincennes would be major for Blue Island, especially coming into the city on the train or by vehicle. What else do we have coming up? I mentioned about the Western Avenue Bridge, so again, pardon our dust, that's going to be happening, God willing, everything straightened out this coming spring. And what have you seen as new businesses? New businesses in the community. And I highly recommend all your businesses who are here, but let's give a shout out to these new current arrivals. Blue Island Seafood, fabulous, behind the old Bargains building. That's at 12601 Western Avenue. If you go in there, which we have, you go in there, you close your eyes, you open it, you think you're in a River North restaurant. Thai, Chinese, and Japanese. Highly recommended. Bread and Bottle Grocer is working on rehabbing that location again. Little Caesars opened up last week or 2 weeks ago in the plaza, where the same place where the Blue Island Seafood is located. La Vieja Castilla, the old place that used to be by Vinny's. Spanish cuisine. Again, highly recommend that location. Great food, great atmosphere, great hospitality and service, as well as the other. Villa Estilio Asclan, that's the place that used to be between the fire department, East Annex, and Family Dollar. That's right there at 2426 Vermont. What's coming, and you'll see they're building it out now, Oxford Insurance, 12121 Western. Carfluent, 3500 West 127th Street. Blue Island Fast Foods, 3136 127th Street. Blues Tap Room and Grill, 2201 Vermont. And we have Cousins, the Old Ray's Pizza on 127th, right off the railroad tracks past Memorial Park. They're rehabbing that location to open there. Natural Law Cocktail Club and Eatery, 13404 Western. Blue Island Fast Food, 3061 127th Street. If you've driven by the old Great Lakes Bank, you'll see the new name, The Vault. The present owners of Ravens have purchased the building, and their idea is to build something similar to the Dave & Buster's, and then as a banquet hall. In addition, they have a parking in the back. So that is, they're working on that. If you've driven by the old Klein's building, we've seen some movement on that by court order. They're on a timetable. In fact, as of last weekend, they started measuring for the front window panes and hopefully changing the windows and replacing the ones that are missing. But they painted, they're on a schedule by court order that they have to renovate that building by a certain period of time. And either they keep it, lease it, or they sell it, or we take it over. Okay. Again, the dollar store is reopened, and they've cleaned their act right there on the corner of Vermont and Western Avenue. As I mentioned, the Klein's building. When Jason Berry was working with the city, and we miss him, he's working at Lamont and trying to build up that location, that suburb. He would always use this time to talk about shop local, shop Blue Island, and I think hopefully the Chamber will continue with that program. I think it's through American Express, but even if it isn't American Express, that should be done every single day. And we wrote a comment recently in the forum where we request every single one of you, every single business, every single resident to promote our local proprietors, our local businesses, because without you, we wouldn't be Blue Island. You're the heart and soul of the city. If it wasn't for you, I mean, I've gotten, as being a defense attorney, as I mentioned, I travel a lot. Today I was in Skokie early this morning, and you'd be surprised people are aware of what we have in Blue Island. From different established restaurants, eateries, to the brewery, from up on the north side, from the new McDonald's renovation that was done recently. They spent a lot of money there. Moraine Valley, I want to give you a big round of applause for the new construction on the third floor. Big investment in the community, and as this administration, one of the dreams, not only my dream, but as an administration is, so what are you thinking about the future of Blue Island? Besides hopefully becoming a transportation hub, is making it a medical district to bring more people to Blue Island. Again, the new ownership of Metro South from St. Francis, even though we still consider it sometimes St. Francis, okay? DuPage Medical Group, their investment in the community, taking that over. Oak Street Health, access to health on Highland. Those just to name a few, but the cornerstone is this Moraine Valley. A long time ago when I first became mayor, I said, you know what, it would be nice that one day you can start offering some medical studies here, and you're shaking your head because you know I'm right, I did mention that, and it came true, or it's coming true. The nursing program locally, not only for men and women, whether you're born here or born or whatever, that's going to be a major plus for us. Again, given the access that we have with transportation from downtown to here, and people are seeing it. We've got a whole new generation of residents moving into Blue Island. Former Blue Islanders, when they were younger, are coming back to start their families or investing in this community. And we saw that within the last 2 years. We made a comment about this maybe a year or 2 years ago, that Crane Chicago Business mentioned Blue Island, that the values of Blue Island homes or real estate had gone up 15%. And specifically, I do remember mentioning that in one of these luncheons. And again, we're still going. People are still coming and trying to find out where there are properties that they can rehab, invest, and put it back on the market, put it back on the tax rolls. And that's where we are. We don't have a large industrial base. And let me mention this. We did annex some new land going west past Kedzie, all the way close to, I would say, Hamlin on 127. There's a new business going there that will add some, let's put this way, an additive to a diesel fuel, but it's not combustible. What you'll see there, and the building's going up as we speak, right off 127, off Kedzie. That's a big plus. And they're the only producers of that additive, basically in the Midwest. The only other plant is in Louisville, Kentucky. So that is a big one for us also. So the thing is now is to keep the momentum going. People have realized what Blue Island has to offer. It's always been here, but it was never tapped into. We have great people, we have great business owners, institutions, etc. Again, I want to compliment Beggars Pizza. From I'm going to say, as you guys took over from Guaranteed Field, I'm trying to remember the name of the place. Guaranteed Field, Old Comiskey Park, selling the pizza. Your establishment has been ambassadors to Blue Island on Canal Street. Your Beggars Pizza over there by Canal and off of, Jackson? That's a big plus. Your ambassadors to Blue Island there are you also selling at Soldiers Field? And now at Guaranteed Field. I mean, anything, when you say Beggars, it's relation to Blue Island. The Blue Island Brewery, again, has been a big plus for Blue Island. Why? Even Budweiser has seen what a product they have to offer them, that they were willing to buy them out. But as of right now, they said no. But again, think about that. For Budweiser being a big national brewery, wanting to buy out our local brewery tells you the competition that they know. And also, Blue Island Brewery sells their beer at Guaranteed Field. And it goes on, the list goes on. All these businesses are a big plus to us. So those are just the little things that we're doing in Blue Island, but all positive, all positive. In the article that I rewrote, now I'll end with this, the article that we wrote for the forum, talked about the holidays, being grateful, again, for veterans. It's a Veterans Day, the veterans who are here, men and women. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here enjoying our liberties there. We unfortunately take for granted. This administration is a big supporter of veterans. We will be out there. As you see our various flagpole, we have both the U.S. flag and the POW MIA flag. And we brought one of our own home not that long ago, the 70-year-old Charles Etching, Blue Islander, 70-year-old Marine who died in his first battle, in the Battle of Tarawa. How heart-wrenching and touching that was when we got the call from Clay Kruger from the funeral home saying that they had discovered his remains, that they were going to bring him home. Would we be willing to participate in honoring him home? I said, you know what? You don't even have to ask. So again, I want to thank the Blue Island Police Department, the whole staff. They went to escort the body, his remains from O'Hare, brought him home on 294. The media, everything. We brought him home as a hero, as he should have been done. And flags waving up and down Greenwood Street was unbelievable to this day. Again, that's why we said POW, that had to be remembered. We will never forget until we bring our last soldiers, whether it's in Blue Island, the state, or this country. We cannot forget them. And don't forget them, Veterans Day. It's a day off for some of us, but we should always think of that. And we do have a program here that we try to incorporate. Green Light a Vet, turn one of your lights to green, whether it's in your porch, in your yard, as a memory to them, but not only during this period season, but year-round. And we go from there. Participate in your local community, give back. As we've seen in the news about the late President Kennedy, new releases of information, his motto, one of my mentors growing up as a child, ask not what your country could do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And I ended with that. Give back to your community. Thank you very much. And let's go. Dwellings on Detroit. We're on the right train and we're going forward. Thank you very much, everyone.